In Southern Africa, culture flows across borders as freely as its people. Zambia, Malawi, and Mozambique share more than geography. They are bound by ancient traditions, shared values, and a living history that unites their people under a single rich cultural heritage. At the core of this heritage are the Chewa people, and at the center of their unity stands one man, their king, Kalonga Gawa Undi. For centuries, the Chewa have honored their king through Kulamba, a ceremony of tribute, loyalty, and cultural defiance. Banned by colonial rulers, but defiantly revived, Kulamba is no mere relic. It is a thrilling annual convergence where chiefs, subjects, and leaders from three nations reaffirm their ancient bonds. It is a spectacle of splendor, rhythmic dance, and deep tradition, a potent reminder that culture can connect kingdoms, heal old wounds, and inspire a continent. This is the story of Kulamba Ceremony. The Chewa trace their roots back to the Abyssinian highlands in Ethiopia. From there, they moved into the Congo Basin and later migrated eastwards in search of peace, as the Chewa are believed to be a peace-loving people. Leading them on this journey was their king, Kalonga Gawa Undi, whose name itself is a story. Kalonga comes from Kulonga, which means to enthrone or to install leaders, while Gawa means to share or to allocate land and resources. Undi speaks of protection, the one who shields his people like a bird covering its young. True to this name, Kalonga Gawa Undi installed chiefs across the three countries and also gave them land to rule. Every year, these chiefs are expected to return to him, to pay tribute and to report on the welfare of their people. This practice became the ceremony we now know as Kulamba.
Ulingana na mwinega wake Kalonga anatandiza nene kuti anagawa Mozambique, anagawa ku Malawi, anagawa muno Zambia. Kulibe muntu aliyesa amene anango kuti ine nikhale pano koma mwine wake Kalonga ndiye amene ananena kuti imwe khalani apa malire yanu ni ava, imwe chitani apa maliro yanu ni ava. So ni Kalonga Gawa Undi, that's why timthokoza kunena kuti anagwira ntchito yayikulu chifukwa anaenda mosiyana-siyana. Ku Mozambique anapita anagawira mafumu, anapita ku Malawi anapita ukagawira mafumu, muno Zambia anakhala nogawira so mafumu. So nchifukwa chake timthokoza kuti ntchito yake anaiziva ni Mulungu chifukwa iye ndiye anagawa malo osiyana-siyana.
Long time ago, because the Gawas, a long time ago, he was not supposed to go in the field and do this, especially, no, but it was kept by his people, his chiefs. So every chief should bring food to him, so that we present that we were giving food to our Gawa to go to come and see him once in a year. So those gifts, when you see that chiefs are carrying, it is for the Gawa. This is what we were doing in old days, giving food to our king. The food he also gives the others, especially those who need food. He just also gives the others. He doesn't keep himself, no. Maybe the family, maybe the others from somewhere, those who are in need for food.
The Chewa have celebrated this ceremony since the 15th century, But in 1934, things changed. The British colonial government, influenced by missionaries, banned Kulamba. To them, it was a pagan practice and a threat to their authority. For 50 years, this tradition lay dormant. But in 1984, the ceremony was revived by Kalonga Gawa Undi, the 10th, also known as Chivunga. From then on, Kulamba was reborn as an annual event. The ceremony is held every last Saturday of August at Mukaika Palace in Katete District, the official headquarters of the Chewa people in Zambia. When you attend Kulamba, the first thing that strikes you is the atmosphere, the mix of tradition, pride, and unity. Chiefs and their subjects travel from Malawi, Mozambique, and Zambia. Government officials, tourists, religious leaders, and people from all walks of life come to witness this event. As usual, this year's ceremony began with the grand entry of Kalonga Gawa Undi into the Zimbabwe, the main arena. His arrival signaled the official commencement of Kulamba. He was escorted by his soldiers, the Ambiri, as the women folk Mbumba Zagawa Undi, his sisters and custodians of the tradition, sang praises, clapped, and danced in his honor. Once in the arena, Gawa Undi greeted his people and guests before taking his seat on the royal pavilion, the Kasusu. The current king is Kalonga Gawa Undi, the 11th of the Mukomo reign. Around him, all the Chewa chiefs sat at the foot of the pavilion as a sign of respect. In line with Chewa custom, the king does not speak directly to the people. Instead, his words are relayed through a trusted representative.
The Kulamba Ceremony brings together the Chewa people from Malawi, Zambia, and Mozambique. This would have not been possible if there was no peace in these countries. I would therefore like to call upon governments and all political players in the three countries to continue building on the peace and tranquility that has been enjoyed over the years. Guests of honor, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me now talk about the common issues that affect our people in the three countries. Agriculture. Agriculture continues to be the main economic activities for the people in the three countries. With proper coordinated focus, this sector can contribute greatly to alleviating poverty and reducing unemployment of our people. I'm aware that our people are generally committed to the growth of agriculture in the three countries. What limits the production of various crops is the challenge of climate change, inputs, poor road infrastructure, and markets. Last season, our three countries experienced relatively above normal rainfall. This resulted in good harvest of crops. We appeal to our people in the three countries to keep enough food for consumption in the event that we experience poor rainfall this coming season. We further urge governments to ensure that the pricing for farm produce reflects cost of production. Guests of honor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our countries are still feeling the effects of the severe drought experienced in the 2023 and 2024 season. This had negative impact on their livelihood as their harvests were very poor. Drought also affected the country's electricity generation, and consequently industry, commerce, and the general population were subjected to load shedding. This also led to high costs of doing business and great inconvenience to households. This calls for policies and actions by the countries to make agriculture and the energy sector resilient to climate change effects. It is time we started investing in water harvesting and irrigation in agriculture, and also facilitate investments in renewable energy sources like wind, solar, biomass, and geothermal.
One of the most memorable moments of Kulamba is when the chiefs present their tributes. Gifts often come in the form of artifacts and food. What makes this unique is that the king does not just receive, he redistributes what he receives to chiefdoms that may have struggled with poor harvests. In this way, Kulamba is not just symbolic, it is a practical ceremony, keeping alive the Chewa spirit of sharing. And of course, no Kulamba is complete without the dance, the Gule wa Mkulu. The Gule wa Mkulu masquerades bring life, energy, and mystery to the arena. These performances are more than entertainment. They carry spiritual and cultural meaning. UNESCO has even recognized the Gule wa Mkulu as part of the world's cultural heritage. Other dances like the Chimtali from Chewa women in Malawi took center stage. Each performance tells a story of joy, tradition, and identity. Then there are the daring feats, Gule wa Mkulu masquerades, dancing with live pythons. The climax of the ceremony is the gravity-defying masquerade known as Golo Golo that swings daringly on a wire strung between a pole and a mango tree, leaving the audience gasping in awe. For anyone who has attended Kulamba, these memories linger long after the ceremony ends. Tourists who come here often say it is unlike anything they have ever experienced.
These unique people of these three countries, Malawi, Mozambique and Zambia, and I think it's a great experience. A lot of beautiful dances and some other very interesting things, I think.
Mwambo umene wa Kulamba umatithandizira kuti tikhale pa ubale ndithu kuchokera ku Malawi, Mozambique mpaka na Zambia. Mene tikakhala kuno kumwambo umene timasangalala kwambiri, timayiwala china chilichonse ndi fumu yathu. Kalonga Gawa Undi timaona ndithu magule osiyana-siyana amene timavina ife achewa. Pali Chintali, pali Gule wa Mkulu, Mganda, zonsezi magule amene amapezeka pa chisangalalo chimenechi. Ife achewa tikaona zimene timasangalala kwambiri mchikhalidwe chathu.
Beyond the spectacle, Kulamba stands for something deeper, unity. Chiefs from 138 Chewa chiefdoms in Malawi, 40 in Mozambique and 36 in Zambia all gather here at Mukaika, reaffirming their allegiance to their king. This year's Kulamba was marked by an even greater sense of significance as it was graced by President Hakainde Hichilema as guest of honor. His presence alongside his counterpart from Malawi and a representative of the President of Mozambique highlighted the importance of this ceremony not only as a cultural celebration, but as a platform for strengthening peace and regional cooperation.
Malawi, Mozambique, Zambia, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, we are one people. We were only separated by the colonialists. And the way they drew our borders, they made a lot of mistakes, cut communities in the middle. So we will not be separated by artificial borders. We are one people in this region. I'm very happy that we are gathered in this manner at this year's Kulamba ceremony. And I want to thank once more Kalonga Gawa Undi and all your traditional leaders in Zambia, Malawi, Mozambique for keeping the Chewa heritage together, keeping our culture, our heritage together. Kuti vana vathu vapunzire mwambo watu. And by doing that, Kalonga Gawa Undi, you are advancing national unity by bringing traditional leaders from across the country and beyond our country. You are extending an arm of unity, and we do need unity that would allow us to advance the development agenda chitukuko muziko latu mumaiko yatu in the neighborhood. So we thank you, Kalonga Gawa Undi, for continuing that path of your predecessors of celebrating Kulamba and therefore uniting our people.
Zikondwerero za chikhalidwe chathuchi zimathandizanso kukhazikitsa makhalidwe abwino kwa achinyamata komanso kulimbikitsa kukhalirana bwino pakati pa mayiko athu kuti atukuke. Mayiko atatu athu monga Mozambique ngakhalenso Malawi ndi Zambia. Ndipo pa mfundo imeneyi olemekezeka inu Chilombo Gawa Undi, ndiloleni kudziwitseni kuti ngati ku Malawi kuli mtendere, chifukwa china nchakuti kapena chifukwa chachikulu nchoti achewa ni anthu osunga mtendere, sakonda zotukwanizana ndi munthu olo mmodzi awatukwane masiku ndi usana, koma achewa amafuna mtendere. Izi nzosowa kwambiri, ndipo palitu kukhalirana bwino mwa mtendere pakati pa achewa ndi anthu azikhalidwe zina zomwe zili zonyaditsa kwambiri. Ngakhale ambiri sanaganizirepo kuti kodi mtendere omwe umakhala pakati pa Malawi chaka ni chaka gwero lake liti, koma zona zake nzoti achewa akulowa Shire, achewa akulomwe Belt, achewa aku Eastern Region, achewa amizinda ya Blantyre, Zomba, Lilongwe ni Mzuzu, komanso achewa achigawo chapakati ni kumpoto ndi anthu okhala bwino ndi mitundu ina. Komanso khalidwe lawo losunga mtendere mchizindikiro choti mzigawo mosemo mafumu achichewa akupereka utsogoleri wabwino ndi wosunga mwambo.
Mozambique also spoke.
Moçambique, Malawi, Zâmbia partilham algo que vai para além da vizinhança. Partilham sangue, língua, valores e tradições. Tocamos as raízes culturais que nos unem e, ao mesmo tempo, afirmamos a visão política cultural que desejamos construir juntos a nível da nossa região.
As the dust settles on the arena at Mukaika, the sound of drums and chants linger in the air, just as the memories linger in the hearts of those who attend. Kulamba is more than a festival. It is a living tradition, one that unites over 200 chiefdoms, 3 nations, and countless people under the banner of peace and loyalty to their king. The Chewa remind us that borders may divide land, but culture binds people together. Kulamba, the pride of the Chewa and a heritage for Southern Africa.